What's going on, everybody? WASDafarian back again with an edition of Steel Division Tuesdays. That's right, pun intended. We are that cheesy on this channel, just so you know what you're getting into. So today, as promised, we're going to be starting off the single player campaign, or one of the single player campaigns in Steel Division 2. And the campaign that I've decided to play through is Berezina. I've already played through Orsha on my own, and I am just interested in trying something a little bit new. So we're not going to go through these chronologically. Um, we're going to go through them in the order in which I am interested in playing them. Let's read through the descriptions here, and then we will hop into the the strategic map. So the German front is broken. Soviet mobiles are racing into Army Group Center's rears to isolate and capture its command and logistical centers. Meanwhile, the Germans are cobbling together whatever forces they can to hold the red tide long enough for powerful reinforcements to arrive. And we'll go over here to the side. Vitebsk has fallen, and its garrison and entire army corps surrounded and destroyed. The same fate awaits in the hours to come the last defenders of Orsha still fighting. The German front has been smashed, and Soviet exploitation troops have already been inserted in the breach and are racing towards Minsk. German High Command reacted to the crisis as it could, mobilizing whatever rear area units it could to act as breakwater to stem the red tide, protect Minsk, and re-establish a defensive line to give survivors from Vitebsk and Orsha a chance to return to friendly lines. All right, so we're going to be taking on the Soviets in this campaign. We will be General of the Army Chernovsky. We will have the 3rd Guard Tanks Corps, the 29th Tank Corps, the 3rd Guard Mechanized Corps, and the 3rd Guard Cavalry Corps under our command. And we will be facing up against the medium AI. That's going to be General Field Marshal Model, who is going to be heading up the 5th Panzer Division and the Group von Gothenburg to start. So we're definitely going to want to try and rapidly advance on the Germans, and so we can destroy them before they have a chance to, do anything. So let's go ahead and launch right into it, and we'll watch the little cutscenes, and then we will head on to the strategic map. Okay, so we have our overall objectives. It does not It did, though. It did mention it in the briefing. It does not appear that we actually have to capture anything by July 1st. So we're going to ignore that. If it's not absolutely mandatory, there's no reason to do that. And before we go into what our troop setup's going to be, I just want to give you guys a little brief history review. So at this point in the war, it is very clear that Germany is going to lose. It is apparent to just about anyone who was paying attention, any kind of intelligence officers, anyone in the high command. The writing was on the wall. They had been broken at Stalingrad. You know, they had thrown everything that they had to the east to try and take out the Russians, and they had been stalled by this winter. And the majority of their most seasoned veteran combat troops had been killed in the siege of Stalingrad, had starved to death. Their troops were extremely demoralized, malnourished. They were, they were on the retreat, and they had been on the retreat for months at this point, and they had never been on the retreat. I mean, the Germans had always won. So this was a big thing for them. Now they're losing ground. Hitler is furious. He's starting to lose his mind to syphilis and other things, a meth addiction that he had developed, and he had started to execute and imprison people in his own high command. That had really shaken up the command structure to the point now where basically everybody left in his high command structure was a hardcore Nazi, a hardcore Nazi. That whether or not they had any military experience started to be irrelevant because he had ostracized all of the best generals at this point in the war. So essentially, he had surrounded himself with a bunch of incompetent yes men, and he was using these security forces, and he had taken more and more control away from his field operators, and he was getting more and more disinformation from the allies and having cracked their enigma code, et cetera, et cetera. So he was making more and more irrational moves all along the front, not allowing retreats, et cetera, et cetera. And it was really taking a toll on troop morale and of course like the overall cohesion and organization of the army. It may well have been that if he had ceded enough ground at this stage in time that they might have been able to defend Germany, but as it mentioned in the briefing there, he had decided to dispatch the 5th Panzer Corps, which was his best panzer, one of the most elite panzer corps left to him, and they weren't ready to go. And instead of waiting for them to be ready to go, he decided to send them in piecemeal, which was a huge mistake because ultimately they were already heavily outnumbered by the T-34s that Russia had pumped out and continued to pump out, and Russia had oil fields, and they were running out of oil. And why this battle and this sequence of battles was especially relevant was, yes, like they mentioned, if Germany wanted to maintain any kind of presence in Russia, it was vital for them to defend these railroads. Because Germany actually, as mechanized as their tank corps were, was largely dependent on horse and buggy to get supplies to their troops. So having something like a railroad was a huge boon to them, and losing something like that would be absolutely crippling to their ability to maintain defensive positions in Russia. Now, honestly, it's pretty clear when you look at it. Hindsight's 2020, but it's pretty clear when you look at it that they had already lost their campaign in Russia by this point in the war. But who knows? It might have been saved if they had been able to, if they had some better organization and better leaders. But that's the way history played out. But that's not necessarily the way that this campaign is going to play out because, I'm not a brilliant general or anything. And, these troops don't really fear for their lives. I don't think they're feeling very demoralized in the digital world. So, okay, history lesson over. Let's hop into the map here and see what we've got available to us. So, we'll just start at the top and move our way down. It's pretty well. First, we'll take a look, see what reinforcements we have available. We do have 134 guards bomber regiment. We have the fighter regiment Normandy, which is very interesting. We have the 3rd Guard Tank Corps. Well, let's see what these guys have. So we got some bombers available to us, which are good for controlling the strategic map much more than they are good for actually in the game. They're a powerful force to deploy. We also have some fighters to support them. We have another tank brigade. It looks like we've got what are these? These look like, oh, okay. So we got some Shermans. We got some 75 millimeter Shermans available. Which started to be reproduced in Soviet factories. and at this stage in the war to supplement their T-34s, as their alliance with America had, you know, led to some very limited military technology sharing between the two sides that were ultimately enemies the whole time. But that, you know, Hitler betrayed Stalin, so Stalin was pissed. He was like, all right. And then we got some Su-76s. These are essentially just artillery pieces. They're a little more mobile than a static artillery piece, but we do have some of those at our disposal out the gate, so that's nice. The 29th Tank Corps. It looks like we do have some T-34-85s. Ooh, baby. Those some big boys. Now, are they Tigers? No. 3 millimeters separate them, but they're still pretty damn good. Um, and yeah, we got some T-34-76s in there as well. A light detachment of Strelky to supplement. And we have some Su-85s as well. So these guys are good at plinking away at tanks from range. So we do have some high caliber tanks to deploy against these Panzer Corps. The 3rd Guards Cavalry Corps, we don't have anything available. And the 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps, we have, looks like some, that's another T-34. These are some more Shermans. So we do have a lot of medium and heavy tanks available to us at the gate. So that's pretty nice, honestly. Now, as far as what's already deployed, it looks like we have a motorized battalion that has some Valentines, so some light tanks. We have some more Shermans available to us over here, and looks like our infantry is mostly Guardia, which will suffice. They're not the best by any means, but they're powerful enough if you use them well and you group them up together. And let's see, we got the Razvedroda, so we got a good this looks like mostly a scout and supply artillery battalion kind of deal. Do have a couple Automachiki, not a lot of Saperi, so got some stuff to work with there. Then we have another recon squad down here with some more Valentines, T-70s. Wow. These guys have T-34s. That's nice. We got some T-34s right there in the middle. Got an artillery battalion. And then we have cavalry regiments that consist largely of Kazaki. Okay, that's a little different. Strength 9. We got some tank busters. So these are really close range guys. Kazaki with SVTs. This is a pretty light squad right there. Wow, and they're all the same. Okay, yeah. So this is a very light force in the center here. We probably want to reinforce the center and looking at the types of troops that we have available to us there. It looks like we got a little bit of a bubble up here in the front. Probably some heavy resistance, in these areas that we can anticipate without ever even looking at it. Then we got another scout battalion deck here. Looks like some more T-34-85s. Okay, so these are some Chung. These are some big boys down here. Some Chungai. We got M10s, 76.2 millimeter. That's like not really fair to call that a tank. These are just bad tanks. That's unfortunate. Hopefully, I mean they can take out some light and medium tanks, but they're not going to do anything against a Tiger or even some of the Panzers are going to be their armor is going to hold up to that really well. We got some more T-34-85, so strong presence in the lower center here, but at least a strong armored presence. Very little infantry to back them up. So we probably want to deploy some infantry there to back them up if we can. And we got some more tanks down here, some Shermans. Looks like we've got some more Shermans and some Su-85s. Oh yeah, that's pretty decent. Okay, so we know what we have. And these are where they can deploy from. So let's take a look. The first air army. Now we have 25 available reinforcement points right now. So we could bring in one of these tank brigades. We could also bring in probably tanks. I mean, we don't really have any. Well, we do have let's see, that's one thing of infantry. That's one thing of infantry. And that's one thing of infantry. So who has the best infantry? Because that's probably who we want to deploy, and we probably want to deploy them right up here. Then again, yeah, I guess the infantry could move up and try and meet in the middle there. But I would definitely be worried about encountering resistance here and having them isolated from each other. It's a pretty simple thing to just deploy some infantry. And preferably we would like to deploy it from right here. I believe that would get them there a little. Third Guard and Mechanized Corps. What do they have? Mot Admachiki, Guardia. Not a lot of infantry in these. Truly. Truly not a lot. Hmm. Okay, and what about the Third Guard's Cavalry Corps? Looks like we don't get any reinforcements from them straight out the gate. The Third Guard's Mechanized Corps, the 29th Tank Corps is not really going to help us reinforce where we need to. So it looks like we're gonna deploy the Third Guard's Mechanized Corps. I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll go ahead and slap them out there on the battlefield, and we'll give them orders to move up. But we're just gonna start at the top and work our way down. Now, let's see. We hold Minsk and Molodechno. So those are those points over here. I think that the path of now, yeah, I think that the path of least resistance is to take on two fronts here. Have one, push through Borisov, because that's basically like we're gonna need these roads and the railroads to get reinforcements to us quickly. Um, and then up here, it looks like it's gonna be slower going. But we could potentially have our forces uh, hang out around here, and once we push ground forward, we can capture the center, and we can kind of open up the lines to reinforce them. But before we take over Borisov and Begomel, I'm probably butchering those names. That's probably safer for us to just leave it alone for a little bit. Looks like they are they entrenched already? They are fortified. Shoot. So that's going to be tough. Anytime you're dealing with fortifications, they've got some bunkers. Looks like some MG42 bunkers, some Pack 50. Oh boy, Pack 38s, Pack 36s, Pack 40. So we got some bunkers, and we got some, just regular infantry troop bunkers here. But it shouldn't be anything that we can't take or we can't handle. We're just going to need to use our artillery wisely and make sure that we get our artillery involved in that fight. So let's go ahead and move our recon squad up and try and get a look at what's going on in front of us. All right, and we'll we can move our tanks into a position that if they move out to attack our tank battalions, that'll be a mistake, so we can be aggressive with them. We're gonna want our infantry up as far as possible, of course, to support, if at all possible. Um, so we're just gonna push them all down the road towards Swajada, and we will leave the artillery out here in the. Oh, we'll put it in the center here. We don't want it to get fucked with if we can avoid it, and we would like it to be a part of the battle. So we're gonna go and we're gonna try and surround this SS police regiment so that when we take it out, it'll just be completely destroyed. I think that'll be easier for us in the long run. And yeah, so in the spirit of that, we will move the first guards. Well, if we move them too far forward without support, then they could be overwhelmed and captured and destroyed. So let's see how far forward we can bring our infantry, and let's bring them up. Because yeah, we don't need our tanks getting exposed. These are some not too great tanks though, so it's not a huge risk. We'll just move them off to the road or on the side over there. And you know what? We will move the scouts up just to see what's going on and help with the surround a little bit. So that's where they're going to be. And we will bring these guys up as well as the 7th Guards Mechanized Brigade. We'll just keep on pushing the infantry up the road here. Move these reinforcements forward as far as they can go this turn. Pretty easy to start. not too complicated. You basically got roads. You got to start attacking somewhere. If they counterattack over here, we're going to be well prepared to deal with that. And honestly, we're hoping that they do, because then they won't have fortifications. They'll have to abandon them in order to proceed. Now, we do have a choice over down here. Now, up here, there's really no choice. We really need to push these units, and we need them to meet over here, or somewhere around here. Now, my plan is we don't really need to take Bergamo, but our reinforcements will be so slow if we don't. So we probably want to take that and then work our way in like a zigzag fashion towards Molodechno. So we're gonna want to meet them down here and then have them push up the road, and maybe have them come around so we can attack from different angles. But it's essentially irrelevant. So that choice is kind of made. Now, as far as how we get to Borisov, however, there's no we basically still have to push. There's not a lot of choices here in terms of like we need to push through these areas and these roads, and we just kind of gotta hammer them, and we need to come down with like the full force of the Red Army, on whatever troops they have left available. So we're gonna want to assault from multiple angles here, and we want we don't want those advanced forces to get overwhelmed. However, we need to get them moving quickly, because as the longer that we wait in this scenario, the more reinforcements, the more tanks that we're going to have to deal with. Their forces are not going to get weaker over time. Their forces are going to get stronger over time. So we have to keep that in mind and try and press any advantage that we have in the early game. We need to try and exploit, because if we don't exploit those, then we are going to regret it later, big time, I'm sure. So we're going to bring these guys forward, and yeah, should be the end of our first turn here. We'll see what the enemy does. If they attack, obviously we will attempt to respond, and if they don't, we'll be okay. We'll just move the scouts over there so we can support that infantry in the event that they do get attacked. We'll move these guys up. Let's Tolichin over there. Yeah, there was a battle there. If I'm not crazy, I think that's Tolichin. Maybe that's a different place though. Russian is hard. All right, and that's right. We still have these forces in the center. We'll move the motorized brigade forward a touch. We'll bring the tank brigade up as far as we possibly can. So we got some truly heavy hitters in the center here. These boys are pretty bad. They're not to be messed with, not to be messed with. Yeah, we got our bad boys all ready and raring to go. Cool. Moving everybody up. And I think that's going to be end turn, unless I'm mistaken. I missed anybody. Nope, don't think so. So we're going to go ahead and advance the turn. We'll see what the Germans do. Okay, it looks like that they are going to sally out of one of their forward positions over here in the middle, where our forces are weakest. This is wise, except not. So they're going to try and take on our 25th Tank Brigade. Looks like they'll be bringing the 2nd Regiment. So majority of Cicerungs. They don't have any kind of great spectacular anti-tank weaponry, and like I said, because they're sallying out, they're not going to have the benefit of their defense. Looks like we will be able to bring the 75th Guards Motorized Battalion in to support, which we will. We'll take all the advantages we can get, and we will engage the 32nd Tank, or the 123rd, whoa, 1,223rd Special Artillery Regiment. Very Russian right there. They got 1,223 regiments. That sounds about right. And it looks like they're going to be reinforced by the 44th Second Regiment in Phase C. So, yeah. All right, this is gonna be the first battle of the campaign. We're definitely gonna kick it off, and I will bring you guys back when we're Well, the way that I'm going to do battles to start is that I'm going to do the initial deployment phase off camera, and then I will, before the battle begins, I'll bring you guys back and tell you why I set things up the way that I set things up, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish, how I'm trying to achieve those things, and then we'll start and jump right into the battle, and I'll do a live cast of the battle. Um, so yeah, I will bring you guys back in a moment. Right, so I figured I'd bring you guys back at this point. So I've got everybody set out on the battle map. I haven't given them their orders yet. I figured that we could do that together. But I just want you guys to take a look at what I've done. So obviously this battle map is freaking huge, man. There's like two. There's some. So the majority of the points, however, seem to be focused over here. In on the left and in the center. And clearly, whoever controls these, more so this hill than this one, but whoever controls those two hills has a severe advantage, and whoever controls this right side, it's not a big deal. So what I've focused on is trying to control this hill, this most important hill, and control these two hills so that we can control this city and all of the surrounding points. I think that's going to be the key to victory on this map. So what I've done is, I mean, we're pretty light on infantry presence as it is, but like there's no need to, at least we can exploit the fact that we do have a mechanized advantage. So we're gonna have our recon unit. We're gonna have it move fast down this road. As quick as possible. So I've deployed a bunch of WLA DPs. Now you might think like these are kind of shit units, but honestly, like there's no reason for me to spend 3 points on a BA 10M when I could spend 1 point on a motorcycle with a machine gun on the back. That's essentially going to do the same job. It's not going to prevent itself from getting destroyed. These things are to take a look, and you hope that you can take a look faster than the enemy, and that you can pull them out of there before they get into harm's way. So we're kind of going to have them deploy forward just to clear the way for our Razvedka, and we're going to want to get our Razvedka moving into the woods. So we're going to want them to move fast over here and unload. That's the Y command if you don't know. So I've kind of deployed some Razvedka to follow up with most of these WLA DPs, because if we do manage to scout forward, we're going to want to, and we can, we have an opportunity to gain some ground. Then we're going to want to make sure that we do so, and that we fortify it quickly. And we're going to have to make a good use of our Razvedka um, in order to prevent any shenanigans. So the WLADP over here, we're going to have that quick hunt up to this town, and it'll be followed up by the Razvedka, who will tell to unload over there in those trees. Again, we're hoping we win the race here, so to speak. Now we do have some for the most important objectives. I did, of course, bring some infantry with me. So we will have some saperi, because your armor is only as good as the infantry surrounding it. The other thing that we're working on doing that we want to do in the very early game is to get these anti-tank guns set up in some decent positions, so that they can have some oversight on these roads, hopefully. So we're gonna want to set that up over there probably. Um, and we also are deploying a bunch of T-34-85s to start. I'm deploying 5, and I focused them all on the left and center flanks, with a heavy presence in the center flank. So we're gonna try and keep them all up on this hill, and we definitely don't want them to get destroyed. So we're gonna keep them very tight. We're gonna be very conservative with them, because we need them early in the early game especially. So this WLADP, this one right here, we're just gonna send this on a move command up here. Definitely not gonna deploy the Razvedka as far up. We're gonna have them unload right there, and this Z3, um, we're probably gonna want to set it up. We're right there. Seems like a great spot. And we do have some Saperi available. To kind of reinforce, but honestly, my plan with them might be just to have them come over here and unload. And then we have this guy kind of outlying over here just to see if they're going to send anything down the right. We're not really focused on the right, but obviously we can't allow them to get around us and overwhelm us. So I think that's pretty much orders for everyone. I know I haven't given any orders to this Zis3. So its job is to, well, ultimately its job's going to be to come over somewhere over here, and but for now, we want it to cover this road effectively, and we want it to be as safe as possible. So we'll have it move over there and unload, and we will also bring the T3485 up into a similar position to yeah, cover the road, which is its job. So yep, I think that's going to be about it for the early game orders. We'll have that T34 push up with the scout units, and yeah, we should be ready to hop right into it. All right, so without further ado, let's launch into the battle here. It looks like we got, I believe everybody got orders. Everybody's moving. Everybody's moving. Very good, very good. All right, we'll hide that for now. Um, Everybody's moving. Not sure why this thing thinks the quick hunt order to get up there would dictate it going in that direction. Um, but yeah, just a quick second, guys. I'll bring you right back. Sorry about that. The display on the monitor that I have sometimes does a weird thing with its display, and I was just trying to fix that for you guys real quick so that you guys didn't have to deal with it. Not sure why this thing would be moving like that, but let's go ahead and give it the move fast command since the quick hunt command's clearly been just too much for it to handle somehow. It doesn't seem to have understood it. Maybe I'm using the wrong hotkey. I'm not sure. Oh, yep, I am using the wrong hotkey. Well, go figure. I'll have those guys go up there. Ooh, they've got a scout plane. Okay, that's a thing. Looks like this Zis3 is going to be able to get set up. We can move these Saperi forward into the woods, which will be a good thing. We'll have this thing quick hunt up to there. We'll get these guys unloaded now and have them push up. Wow, it's a shame you lose the transport when you unload them like that, but I guess it is what it is. Um, so it looks like we got the Razvedka, and they're gonna be occupying the center of the town. Let's get them up into some different houses where we get some better views, and we'll continue to push our scouts forward. Actually, we'll push this scout over there and push this scout over here. We got a T3485. We want that moving up up here. I want view. I want a view of that road. I'm not sure where I can get it from. Um, and we'll push this guy up into this town just to see what's going on. We'll push the Razvedka forward. The Zis-3 looks like we can probably push that up almost immediately. And we've got reinforcements ready already. So we're having some enemy contact coming in. We'll keep the WLAs moving forward, just so we're abreast of the situation. This Zisa's got a great view. We'll move our Razvedka up into a more threatening position there, and we definitely want to bring in some reinforcements into the city here. So we do have these flamers, the Agnamatchiki. However, they're only a 2 strength unit. What we really need is numbers, and the best way that we're going to be able to get the numbers probably is from the tank brigade itself. It does have some. Let's see, actually. Ooh, nope, guess not. Oh, WLADP's been destroyed. That's no good. Let's see if we can get some. Come on, reinforcements. We got more Razvedka. We might have to just make do. We do have a couple of units of Saperi that we can send into the town here. We'll go ahead and bring in some Ognamachiki as well into these regions. Looks like they got a pretty heavy presence over here. But our tanks are doing okay. We can bring in one more infantry unit. We'll bring in, let's see, another Tanko Desadniki, and we'll bring them up over here to reinforce our right. and then we can bring in some more T-34-85s, probably over here. Okay, now we got these guys. We're gonna have them quick hunt forward as well. Uh, so all those things are good. Things are going all right so far. Um, we might be able to push up with these Saperi and Razvedka and take control over this town. Um, However, we kind of want to keep those Razvedka in a position where they might be able to support our infantry. Um, so we'll just keep the scout tanks up. We will reverse. Uh, let's push the. Let's try and get the artillery piece over there. Um, we'll push the Razvedka forward, and definitely don't want this guy to get hurt. So we'll have him reverse. Uh, let's just put him like right here, right on the. Let's have him reverse over to here. Hello. Whatever. We're losing some objectives. Let's see. We're winning 14 to 12, so very minor lead, if any, honestly. And we're gonna need much more infantry. So let's get all the rest of our infantry deployed onto the field. We got a couple more Shiki that we can deploy. Um, so we'll just kind of spread them out a little bit among the right and center, so that we can have a dominant presence there. I don't know what these guys are doing. Can you guys please just move up? Please, just move. I don't understand, you know? That's all you got to do. You need to move up. Looks like our Sapere are going to be able to get in position here. I'll put him in that house, and we will bring these tankos up to unload over there. Looks like we got the Sapere. They're coming. We'll bring them over here, have them unload in that area. These three guys over here are going to be doing their thing. Let's see, we got some more recon squads. We'll send a couple down this road. And then we want more tanks. We can get a tank commander deployed onto this hill. We can send in some more tanks into onto this hill. So we're gonna just dominate those two hills with tanks. That's the plan. Looks like we got some people in the town here. Ooh, we're gonna go ahead and give our Saperi the fallback command. We don't want to lose that, so we can divert these to come over here and unload, and we can try and send some reinforcements that way with our tanks. You know, so that'll be a good thing. We can spread our tanks out a little bit. Want that guy to kind of move off to the side. We want the Camerati to move up. We want this guy to move up. You know, we kind of just want them to spread out. We're going to need more. We can bring some more Tanko Desadniki into the center of the town. The Chiki will get them unloaded. And we'll have them spread out throughout the town. In some positions where they might be able to use their close range abilities to their advantage. We'll keep the Razvedka up at the front. We'll get these Saperi unloaded and into the safety of some houses, hopefully, where they won't be so exposed. We'll back up the DP, the scout unit. We're losing objectives. We're still up 14 to 12. We'll send these guys down the pipe here to see what's going on. Looks like we have some infantry that are down that road. We might be able to reinforce a little bit with what's left of our infantry. Maybe send. Honestly, a BA-10M might be able to do the job right there, and we'll just keep on bringing in these T-34-85s on this hill, because it's gonna be dirty if we keep it up. All right, so we'll push up our T-34s. We'll push the Saperi into the town here. We want the Razvedka and the Saperi to move up into that village, and we want to try and challenge that there. We got Adnamatshiki. We want to push them through the forests. The Zisa is still in a good position to do some damage. Oh, looks like something shot down that scout plane. I'm not even sure what. Ooh, shooter knocked out. The Cicerong's probably not going to stand much of a chance against our little tank army right here. I'm not thinking that they stand much of a chance anyways. What else do we have to bring in here? We do have some T-34-76s. They're a little bit weaker, but a little bit quicker, so we'll bring them in on the left as well. And we're gonna set up a bona fide firing line in this ridge line here. So that's gonna be the plan. We're gonna want our guys in a lot of different angles, so we can cover the roads and still be protected from enemy fire and whatnot. We'll just push them all up here. M31 got destroyed. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. These Razvedka and the Saperi are getting attacked. We'll bring the tanks up to support here. Looks like it's going very well so far. We can get those Agnemachiki moving into the town. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Nope, they don't stand any chance alone like that. Um, Looks like we need some more reinforcements. What can we do? Tanko Desatniki. We can deploy 3 over here. So that's what we'll do. We got the BA-10M. We got this thing doing its thing. We'll have those guys unload and move off. We'll have them turn off return fire so that they can leave, and we'll just keep them pinned down with the. Oh, well, that's the end of that. All right, so looks like we're hitting phase B now. We are winning 15-11, so that's good. Looks like there's some resistance here. We can move the anti-tank gun forward, as well as oh boy, we're gonna want to reverse this tank out before it gets fucked up by these Cicerongs, and we don't want them taking too many close range AT shots. All right, so I think the plan now is to just uh, overwhelm their infantry with armor. I think that's our best shot. We can move this T-34 up into this garden. The Tanko Desadniki, we want them to unload, spread out throughout the town. We're going to want to start pushing our guys out from the center. But we are controlling the majority of the points here. Mot Razvedka has been destroyed. That's no huge surprise. That's not the best. It's not the worst. We'll get the AT gun going here, and we'll move the armor into the town. And we will bring up a unit of, let's see, what do we have? Well, we can bring up a supply truck here because we do have this like firing line of T-34s that we need to be aware of. And yeah, we'll put this. Oh snap! Looks like we got some guys trying to sneak through the. We need some more scouts. It looks like we can bring in some motorized scouts. But they're so expensive. We can just spread out some Razvedka in areas where we need vision, um, such as these, and we'll depend on that. Looks like we got some people pushing down over here. We're gonna want to send that BA-10M and this T-3485 over to get them. These Tanko Desatniki, we want them to unload and push forward into the town. This T-3485 seems relatively safe. We'll get the Adno Machiki moving forward towards the Cicerongs. We got the Zisha moving forward. Everything seems to be going well. And let's go ahead and make sure that we reinforce our right over here with some tank action. So we'll send another one over here, and we will send another 2 down the pipe over here. So that should be more than enough tanks deployed onto the battlefield to make sure that our position is secure. We got these guys. We want them to they've got really good line of sight from where they are, so there's no reason to push them too far forward. We'll have it push over here, and we'll have this one maybe push down towards this road all the way. Keep this guy where he's at. Let's move him up a little bit. We'll bring the camaraderie with oh boy, here we go, and we'll have these guys push down this road as well. So plenty of things going on there. We got some Razvedka. We want them to unload over here. These Razvedka, we want them to unload right here. The Tanko Desadniki. These Tanko Desadniki, moving the odd, just keeping everybody stacked up on the top of each other, making sure that they're still in good positions where they can be useful, of course, for anyone pushing into the city. And we just want to get our guys on the roads, in positions where they can see, in positions where they can fire, um, in positions where they can be useful. We don't want anybody sitting where they don't have line of sight or they don't have any lines of fire. These M2A1s can be useful to help cover the roads, so we can send them out to do just that. Um, Looks like our armor up on this hill is doing well. Let's move the T-34 Camaraderie over, and we'll push that guy up as well. These Agnemachiki, we're going to push them forward through the forest here. Looks like we got a Pack 36 that's taking some shots. We can send these M2s up and these Tankos up to deal with that. We don't want our T-34s getting messed with too much before we move them up, so let's move them off to the side here. Let's see, Cicerong's destroyed, that's good. Looks like we're just nailing a lot of people right now. This is pretty good stuff. Let's see what else we got. Well, we can start getting our command structure better. So we can deploy a leader off in the center here. Um, and we can, I wish we had more infantry, I really do. We can deploy 2 more Tankos into this heavy infantry fight in the center, and then we can just spam out more tanks and put them in the center hill here where they can do the most to either side of the battlefield. All right, so now we got these guys, and we'll just push them up. We want the Razvedka to stick here, so around the point, but we want to see if we can maybe grab some ground with these T-34-85s. See if we can maybe put this. I think this is in a pretty good position as it is. With the T-34-85s, we should be able to move this one around the side here. Come on, around the side here, and we'll push this one up down the road. Kind of get our front forward, um, moving forward, I should say. Um, we'll move those tanks up like so. And yeah, we got Agnemachiki, we got Razvedka, these Agnemachiki. Not sure that well, we can try and push them into the forest up here, provided that we have cover with the M2s. Got some really good lines of sight, but we'll keep this guy moving forward so you can get a little bit better view. Um, these guys are having some great views as it is. We'll just spread him out a little bit to the left. We got some Razvedka sitting back here doing nothing. We got some Agnemachiki sitting back here doing nothing. So let's make sure that they're pushed forward. Let's bring this M2 back into a garden where it can sit. We'll bring the Kamrati over here. Looks like we got some more. Let's see, we got another T-34-85 Kamrati. We can put over on this road. And let's see what else. Ooh, Agnemachiki got destroyed. We got another T-34-85 Camarade that we're going to move up down this road. Looks like we got a transmission damage on this T-34-85. Not sure what's going on with that. So we can push these, well, let's just have them move. I don't want them to return fire. Turn it off. And okay, good. We've got some great lines of sight right here. Really, their enemy is in a really bad position. They got a major defeat in 28 seconds, so it looks like that our victory is all but assured here, boys. Yeah, just overwhelmed them with armor. There was really nothing that they could do once we took firm control of the roads like this with our tanks. You know, they're pretty powerful tanks, and they don't really have much in the way of defense against them. So at a certain point, it's just like, well, I got more armor than you, and this is that's kind of the big deal. It was a huge deal in World War II, and that was the Soviet strategy. Was we have more tanks. Their tanks weren't faster. They didn't have thicker armor, and they didn't have better guns. They just had 10 times as many. And they were like, well, it takes you a lot to, if you kill 5 of our tanks and we kill 1 Tiger, it's worth it. That's the way that they saw it. So um, here we got the major victory. Looks like we got 27 kills to 25 losses. Pretty typical Soviet scenario. Often they would take almost as many casualties. But if you look at the quality of the casualties that we lost, we mostly lost pretty light scout units. Now, I can't understate that losing that much infantry is actually very bad. But ultimately, we are going to be able to reinforce infantry, and we only lost one tank. One T-34 85 out of that entire thing. And you can see that our T-34 85s were very effective. They destroyed a lot of transports before the infantry ever had a chance to get out of there. So definitely well worth it. Definitely a good first battle. We did get the major victory, which is great. We did, win on, yeah. So we definitely had a lot of good in that battle right there. So yeah, we'll go back to the battle map here and see if the enemy has any more actions this turn. I'll bring you guys back in a moment. Okay, so we're back. Yeah, so just another recap of the battle here in Phase A. Uh, Looks like we won pretty heavily. In Phase B, they started to take out more of our units. However, yeah, we kicked their ass. So didn't get to Phase C, didn't ever have to deal with that, which is great. So yep, we got attacked. Looks like they've got the disorganized status now, so we should be able to go in and crush them on our turn. But the enemy's still taking some actions. You can see they're moving their troops around back here, actually backing away from Bobier and abandoning their fortified position, which is going to be helpful for us. They do have some tanks and some artillery presence around. Okay, 5th Guards Cavalry Division. I'm not sure what that even means. 19th. I guess that's the reserve, maybe. Um, so yeah, it's been a fun episode. I think that's where we're gonna end it today. We did go through our first turn. We went through the opening up, and you guys can expect an episode of this on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna stick with the campaign, I believe, for now. In the next episode, we're gonna work on moving forward and challenging over here at Bobier, or at least figuring out how we're going to challenge over there at Bobier. We're going to push forward into Sherja over here and take advantage of their mistake of attacking us. And we're gonna move over here and try and probably I don't know if we actually really need to surround and crush this police regiment. We might just take advantage of the fact that they abandoned that position and try and surge forward. Not really sure. Don't want them to be hindering us. However, it's not a particularly large unit. So yeah, we might try and take them out. But definitely a good first episode. If you guys liked it, if you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video to your friends. I'm a young channel. If you guys are enjoying the Steel Division 2 content, I've actually been getting the most response out of this content. Then, please let me know in the comments if you have anything to say about it. If there's something I can do to improve the format. If you would like more frequent episodes. I mean, I'm trying to give you guys the content that you want to see. At the end of the day, I enjoy playing mini games, and I'm not too latched on to anything. But this one's been getting good response, so I'm definitely excited to see where this series goes. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope that you have a great week. And if I don't see you tomorrow, if you only tune in for Steel Division 2, then I'll see you guys again with another video on this on Thursday. And uh, to all my loyal viewers, I thank you for taking this journey with me. It makes it a lot of fun to play games and know that you guys are watching. So I appreciate all of y'all, and I hope you're doing well in these crazy times. And I will catch you on the flippy floppy. Peace.